Yeah. I'm always stato. Good day, everyone. Welcome to another Technical Tuesday, right, with your coach, Clayton. It's another privilege to be with on you tonight. And like always, we go over, the instruments in which we trade, right? Um, and this week was one of the interesting weeks. And we will go over, you know, the instruments that the students has emailed the admin team. And for those of you who are watching for the first time, I see comments. Good afternoon as well to you. I think it's Jill, right? It's good to see you as well. Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, um, we as a institution, day trading company, we ask the students to send in the instruments that they trade the most, right? And so for this week, we have currency pairs. However, if you put in the chat, right, an instrument that you would love me to go over tonight, we can do so, right? There's no problem with that as well. And so also to just to take note, this week we are heading into a nice Friday, and if you are interested within that, um, it's gonna be a very interesting week. So I'm excited for that as well. I hope you are excited also regarding that. Just put in the chat. Oh, I see the S&P 500 is coming in. Oh, we will do that. We will go over that as well. There's no problem with that. Um, and so let me just share my screen with you, right? Let me just share my screen. And so there we have it. So we're heading over to the first, part of, this live. I think you can still hear me. I just want to make a big screen for you. Is that with analyzing the market, right? There's one component that you must always highlight or take note of, and that is news. And news plays a vital role within our day trading, right? And so this is to the public as Forex Factory, right? That is where some students get the news notifications. Some other students use other sources as well. But when we look at how do they, formulate it, right? We really want to look at how the week will go accordingly to Wednesday, right? And how that will filter to Thursday. And then once you have Thursday's, news and highlighted, we can go towards Friday. And Friday is you just see red files. In South Africa time, that will be around about 3:30, and that will be in the New York session, right? This time frame will be different, or time zone will be different to yours wherever you are located around the world. However, on Friday we are looking at a non-farm payroll, right? We're also looking at unemployment rate. We're looking at prelim as well. So there will be the market will shift, right, for this month and for this year. But if we go to again to Thursday, you will also see that USA, this USA news that will come out also regarding unemployment claims, right? That will also be at our past 3 African time, right? But you must always check on your side, your time zone where you located within the world, right? And what country. And then we also, look at Wednesday. There's also news read files regarding CAD, Canada, and also the British, right? So let's take a careful look at that. But the main ones you can trade Wednesday, Thursday, but the main ones we want to look at is Friday. So Friday is, the cherry on the cake, if I can put it in that context, right? So once we have that, we can go to the market, right? Um, and so, like I always say, for the newbies, for the people or the individuals that is just checking us out, I always say that the Dixie is the denominator, right, for every week. The Dixie also stands for the dollar. If we go to back into history, there was legal, political, uh, all these type of regulation that the dollar was the currency in which you would trade across borders, right? But I'm not going to go into that. Um, so, however, the market moves regarding the dollar, indices, futures, options, they all respond in a particular way in which how the dollar move. And so, regarding the dollar for this week, I have for the students who join the course, I have highlighted, right, that there is a consolidation happening, right, and that we can see on the supply zone, right, and also at the demand zone as well, right? And this is very careful to picture, right? And we're not even talking about the Dixie. My mistake, guys. We're talking on GBP USD. Sorry for that. There we go. I was thinking, why am I? The chart looks a little bit different. So apologies for that. So we are actually on the Dixie now currently. So like I said, the Dixie, however the Dixie moves, right? It reflects on the market as well. So when I tell the students what happened over the weekend, right, is we will normally see, and I highlighted this, right, we can see a inverse head and shoulders, right, and I indicated that the inverse head and shoulders, that indicates when a trend might be broken, right, or a new trend will form, right. So once we have that, and if you don't understand inverse head and shoulders, um, our course gladly teach this, right. So regarding the inverse head and shoulders, that's a very powerful tool in which how the market, right, operates in, like I said just a few seconds ago, of how a new trend can form. So regarding the head and shoulders, we can see that, right, the inverse head and shoulders. Now, I have said that price action, right, can test this demand zone once more, right, and have a retracement up, right. We all see that, right. Um, and when we take note of this, we also see that on the higher time frame that we have a a downtrend, right, as indicated over there, right? So the reason why I'm highlighting this downtrend, it will make more sense where current price is more or less, right? So we see this downtrend forming, and now that we go where current price is, we have seen that, like I said, current price reaches demand zone and had a retracement, right, to the upside. So once we have this, and that was actually this pattern over here, right? I will delete some arrows just to make my chart more neater. Um, and so this was that pattern which price action, you know, formulated, right? But I also highlighted that to the students of Kingdom Day Traders, if it drops, right, and it plays within this particular area, there can be a potential price action moving down, reaching a deeper or next opposing demand zone in which price action will retrace, right? So we all see that. And we will see that how price action actually formulated um, this actually pattern within the week or this two past 2 days. Now, if I just take it a little bit to my right hand side, we can see first of all that there is forming also uptrend, right? Now, with that, we can also clone it, right? And then we can just, highlight it there. Now, remember, for a trend line to form, it needs to have two touches, right? And if you one of them, you can shift this particular trend line like that, and there's two touches, right? So when we zone in, we can see that the price action is making higher highs and higher lows. Now, I don't want to teach mastermind on this class, but the students will know, like, if you have a breakup structure, etc., etc. Uh, there may be a new trend that can form, right? However, when we look at overall trend, right, we can see that there was a down trend forming, right, and now we see a correction, right, and in this correction is showing an uptrend as well, um, and so that is very important to take note of, right. I will explain to you when we go to two currency pairs and also to the S&P 500 how this will play out, right. So um, before I go on, I would just highlight this demand, sorry, the supply zone, right? And if you go in the class, one of the students, just, yeah, okay. I hear you. I see you, Coach Edwin. Coach Edwin is phoning me, guys. So apologies for that. Um, but yeah, um, when we look at where the market is, right? It is in the supply zone, and when you go deeper within the lower time frames, you can actually, you know, adjust the supply zone, and now you can see that, right? So price action can either break the supply zone and reach the supply zone to the next opposing supply zone, and then we can have a drop, right? Or regarding news tomorrow, it can stay in a consolidation within a supply zone and drop, right? But that will make more confirmation regarding when we go through the euro, USD, and JPY. So with that, I will quickly take a break in the next 5 minutes, and then we will come back, right? So I hope you're enjoying the stream so far, right? I know it's a mouthful, but just hang in there, right? So just give me 5 minutes, and then we will go back on the chart. Okay, so welcome back, students, to the live. Right, I hope you're enjoying this live stream. Um, let's put a five in the chat, right? A five in the chat if you're still with me. Let's just put a five in the chat just to see who's on this live stream before I take it away, right? It's very important that I know who's with me. Okay, I see the Trish and Will, or Mr. Will. I see Michelle as well. I see Lana. It's good to see you, Lana. I see your homework as well. I see Coach Shadows also putting fives, a lot of fives there, right? I want to just to highlight. Thanks for everyone who's putting a five. I just want to also highlight an announcement, right? For everyone who's watching, right? And that will happen on Thursday. Now, Thursday, And for those of you who don't know, um, in South Africa, we there's a saying that it's festive, right? It's festival spirit within our lives, and with that, we would like to announce that we will have a gift for you, right? And this will only be, if I'm not mistaken, this will only be for individuals, right? Um, that will join a web class, right? It will be limited seats for masterclass, right? For masterclass, I see Jason Siegu is also here. Welcome, sir. So Thursday at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, we will have an event that will be a mastermind class, right? And it is only limited seats available. So just comment masterclass, right? Within these particular comments, right, on this live, comment masterclass, and the admin team will reach out to you and advise you regarding more details regarding this announcement, right? So remember, Thursday at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, there will be a special web class, and it's just comment mastermind, right? So I see this one comment mastermind. So admin, take it off. uh, so yes, we can now head to the chart again, right? And like I said regarding the Dixie, um, and then we go to Euro USD, we can see how price action actually filtered, right? Now, I know some students don't, trade the corresponding of the Dixie within your trading, right? Especially with a particular instrument that you trade. But if we look at how the market operated, right, and remember, if you just go back to the Dixie, I say that price action can respect this demand zone, right? Pay careful attention to that, or it can break and it can drop to an opposing demand zone, right? However, if price action respects this demand zone, right? If we go to Euro USD, price action will reach, right, to, let me just show it to you on the chart, will reach this demand zone, right? Reason being is because price action respected the supply zone and dropped down to reach our demand zone, right? So just pay carefully attention to that. And when I say that price action can play within this demand zone, it can drop further down, right, and reach a next opposing demand zone. Right, so just pay careful attention to that. The reason why I'm saying that price action can will play within this demand zone and drop to a next opposing demand zone is because if we go to the Tixi, right, price action, and let me just delete this drawings because I have a feeling that this can be a little bit confusing, right? And price action can reach the supply zone and start to play within this area, right? And break through that supply zone to reach our next opposing supply zone. In essence, right, it will be the same with Euro USD, right, and dropping, playing within that demand zone, right, and drop further down to reach our next opposing demand zone, right? And that demand zone can be at this particular area, right? If you really want to know to what particular zone, you need to join because Coach Sharon is watching, and yeah, you will have an explanation, right? And I can just highlight it. You know, I think it was yesterday's Monday class. He was teaching about, on a higher time frame, on a weekly time frame, where price action might go towards, and it's actually playing out as we speak, right? But I won't go into much detail regarding that. But when we go back to the Dixie, right, it is forming uptrend now, right? And if we go to GBP USD, it is also going down, right? And in this case, we have seen that price action was consolidating, right, um, for a period of time, right, on a 4 hour time frame. But now we see that price action broke also this area of demand, right? So we had a few touches that happened, right? And if we also in the class, we will also teach you odd enhancers. So this is one of the odd enhancers, and that indicated that price or that demand zone is a little bit of this weakness within that demand zone, and now we're seeing a breakthrough to the downside, right? So interesting times. Now I want to go to the daily time frame, right? And if you really see on the daily time frame, and this is especially towards Friday, we have this area right over here. And if we go to Euro USD, you have this area over there, right? Now I want to just give you a highlight this key point, right, before we go to the S&P 500, right? So we have a rally, we have a base, and then we have a rally, right? We all see that on GBP USD. We also have a rally, right? We have a little bit of a pullback, and then we have a rally, we have a base, and then we have a rally, right? So in essence, we are just looking at this particular area, right? So we have a rally, we have a base, and then we have a rally as well. Now we can see that market structure and candle structure is playing the same as GBP USD and Euro USD, right? So you must take note of this, right? And the reason why I still say this is a buy trend is because the way how price action is dropping, right, to reach this area of demand. Um, and so for me, the time in this trend is taking too long to filter this demand zone, and it may be that on, let me just go to the lower time frame to do this. It may be that when we reach to Friday, right, price action can reach this demand zone, right, on Euro US. Sorry, price action can drop to reach this demand zone on Euro USD. It might play, right, and have a retracement, but that all filters within Thursday as well. how price action filtered on Thursday, and as well for GBP USD, in price action drops to this area, right? It can be a play, right? And there might be a retracement to the upside as well. So that is my stance regarding this week. But if there's any chat or any comments, you may proceed, and I will gladly help you, right, before we go to um, the S&P 500, right. So there's my face once more. It's good to, okay, here we go. Yeah, so is there any comments that you want to usher in? I'm more than welcome to help you, right? Because I know there was a comment regarding the S&P 500, right? So if you're still there, you can comment. Okay, so there's someone that says a 5, right? So just put the 5 in the chat once more, just to see if you are still there with me, right? Just to see if you're still there with me. Is there still people there? Okay, I see people still there. I see David Miller is also here. It's good to see you, sir. Right, so thank you for everyone for putting a 5 in the comments. Um, there has been a request for the S&P 500, and I want to just highlight that as well to you, right? And this P, we highlighted this P, the 10th, right, of November. So it's a bit like a month ago, right? And I see that price action can either fall, right, and do a huge rally, right, in which price action had done. However, if we go into or zoom into this particular area, you will notice, right, price action never, reached this area of demand zone, right? But that is okay. At least your direction in which price action filtered was correct. However, if we go to a lower time frame, right, you will actually see why that occurred, right? And I think that would be the 15-minute as well. Um, so there had to be a demand zone, right? The price respected. Now that demand zone on the 15-minute, and I think Charon, if he's still watching, Coach Charon, if Coach Charon is still watching, he would be smiling, right? Because this is a rally base rally, right? Now, if we go to our right hand side, you can see that price action actually made, right, a double bottom, right? So the system works. Is just that you need to keep on practicing, right, and things will make sense. So regarding a individual that want me to highlight or see how the S&P 500 will form, regarding these particular or the next few days. And the one thing that I want to highlight is always a trend line, right? Trend line forming. And if you can also clone that as well. Okay, so that's your trend line or your uptrend in other words, right? So it's making higher highs and higher lows. Now we go to our daily time frame and we want to see where is price action at, right? If it's coming from a supply zone heading to a demand zone, or coming from a demand zone heading into a supply zone. But the one thing I've seen is that price action actually reached a significant supply zone right on the daily time frame, right? So we can highlight that as well. Like I said, you can go to lower time frames and you can adjust your supply zone accordingly, right, to the time frame that you trade. Now we can go back to our 4 hour and just move to our left hand side and just see, right? Okay, so it made a double top, right? um that was the first of August, right? And when you look at current price now, we can see there's an uptrend forming as well, right? But it also reached that supply zone, and we're starting to see a little bit of a pullback. What I want to also highlight to you is the number of times this uptrend was tested, right? And now, the one indicator that I also love to use is the RSI, and that's how also I take it on a high time frames, right? So we see on a daily time frame that it was overbought, right? And we see that there's a drop over there, and that was that significant drop we see, right, that happened on Friday, right? But also if we look at the week on the RSI, for me it is not showing overbought or oversold, right? But one thing, this can be a bit confusing, but we can also draw a supply zone over there, right? Let me just swoop in there for you, right? The supply zone. And I told you the market works on supply and demand. If you hear a coach, right, any coach that says that the market works on the supply on supply zones and demand zones, you can use that across any for RXI. You can use it as well, right? Just as another a tick off box. But you don't have to use this. You don't have to use this. But remember, it's on a weekly time frame. But for me, I won't say this as overbought as yet. I want the RSI to be over here, right on top, so that it can, mean something, right? So considering everything that we took in, and we look at our weekly time frame, we also see that on the weekly time frame it also reads a weekly supply zone, right? We can also see that over there because we have a rally base drop, right? And that you can pay careful attention towards. But coming back to what price action will do regarding this few days heading to Friday, is that I will go back to the Dixie, and when the Dixie reaches to this supply zone, right, or if, right, that's all depending how the market will operate within tomorrow and Thursday. If price action reaches to that supply zone, right, and um, the news comes out and it's negative for the dollar, right? If we go to the S&P 500, right, and price action reaches also to the supply zone, right, and it starts to play, then we can see price action reaching to a new high, right? The only reason why I'm saying that is because if we really take note of what is happening, our price action is moving. Um, like I said, on a weekly time frame, right? It reached a weekly supply zone, right? And it also reached a daily supply zone. But can you see how much time, right, has the market, or price action stayed within this particular area, right? But that's only if price action, plays within the supply zone and over the next few days, right? However, if price action breaks this trend, let me just delete that. If price action breaks this trend, right, in the next coming few days, right, and it breaks, it can reach a potential, demand zone, right, and have a retracement right to the upside. Um, and let me just show you this area of demand zone, right? So we have that demand zone, and then we have this demand zone at the bottom as well. So let's have a look at that. Um, this is my, forecasting. But like I said, it all leads to, especially regarding the Thursday, right? The Thursday will paint a nice picture for everyone, right? On Thursday, we have unemployment claims, right? So the unemployment claims is very important on Thursday to adjust for your Friday, right? And if you do see, a trade before this particular news comes out, you can do so, right? But if you skeptical of going in a trade when news is going out, you can always stay out. But if you're very positive in which um, the unemployment claims for Thursday comes out and how price action is moving within the London session, right? Let me just get it. There we go. Um, for Friday, how price action is moving through the London session. It will also paint a nice picture regarding the New York session, right? So that is all from my side for tonight. Um, I hope you enjoyed this live stream. So Michael's saying so more likely or more upside. Is that regarding the S&P 500? Uh, if so, yes. But like I said, it can drop a bit, right? And to break that uptrend a bit and reach a demand zone and have a retracement. Oh, I see. Jason is watching on YouTube. Um, if the Dixie is reversing and going up, and GU is and EU is looking like they retracing for now, do you think the dollar is going to fall again? Okay, let me answer that regarding on the market, right? So Jason is asking regarding the dollar. Um, so what Jason is asking, when we see the dollar, right, dropping, right, and it drops and tests this trend line, right? But let me just move this out of the way, and we also highlight that particular demand zone. If price action do play in this particular area, Jason, price action can fall, right, and reach our next opposing demand zone, right? So, and that is why I also, look at how candle structure is forming. But only my only concern is that if we look at where price action came from, right, and we look at how price action came to that supply zone, and we look at it the days, right? Um, again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's basically a week, right, in which price action has done that, right? But also, if we look at the 4 hour, we can see that the opening and closing, right? We see the impulse moves as well, but for me, it's not clear cut, right? Um, regarding the uptrend as yet, uh, only because of this supply zone that is keeping price action there. However, if we do see a drop, right, regarding this demand zone and start to play within that area, regarding to tomorrow and Thursday, there can be a potentially the Dixie will drop regarding the news on Friday, right, and that will bring or show a week, right, happening over there. So then it will paint a nice picture for the rest of the month as well. I hope that answers your question, Jason. Um, thank you, Jill. I appreciate it. Um, but yes, I don't want to keep you any more longer because I know by theory it says that you can only concentrate for 45 minutes, right? But it's a pleasure to be once again on this live, teaching you, instruments. And I also want to encourage the students as well. If you're struggling, um, it can be a pay also that you don't trade every day, but you just search in the market, right? What pay suits you or not. Um, so just have a look at that as well, and send that instrument towards me. There will be, like always on a Friday, the admin team will send out an email, and you can most likely comment on that as well. So thank you, team. Thanks for all the comments. Thanks for tuning in. I'll be here next week, same time, right? And so take it easy. God bless. Bye.